Let's talk a little bit about Buddy Rose. Sadly, he passes away on April 28th here in 2009. And I know he had some absolute classics against the Midnight Rockers, teaming with Doug Summers, really put the Rockers on the map in that bloodbath. And I think a lot of fans remember, the viral meme that has become the blowaway diet, which was some creative, fun nonsense in the WWF. But man, he was a hell of an in-ring performer. What'd you think of Buddy Rose?
Very well. The sad part about Buddy Rose is not enough people got to see him
Yeah,
in his prime. Really good talent. I go back to a lot of comparisons and answering these questions by thinking, well, how would they hold up today? There's not
right.
a wrestling company in the country or in the world that wouldn't want to hire Buddy Rose. If you're just looking at work ethic and talent in the ring, skills, storytelling, ring psychology, it's just sad that not enough people got to see his work because Buddy Rose is really good, really good. And he's like a lot of guys. He had some troubles, self-inflicted wounds to the feet, so to speak. But he was a good hand, really a good hand.
We should also talk about the shareholders meeting that Vince is going to have on May 1st. And this is where he'll reveal, hey, WWE's on television on Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, but that means we're missing Wednesday. And he sort of suggests that perhaps maybe that would have been overexposure once upon a time, but because there's so many stations today, that's not the case. And I know that we've talked about this a little bit with Eric Bischoff, and he always felt like the worm started to turn for WCW with the creation of Thunder. He felt like it was too much. You already had your weekend shows like Pro and Worldwide,
Yeah.
but Saturday night was your A show until Nitro comes along, and then Saturday night becomes your B show. But now with Thunder, maybe that was too much. And I wanted to know from your perspective. I mean, that was way back in 98. 11 years later, Vince is saying, hey, 5 days of WWE programming is not too much. Is there a happy medium? What do you think is if you were running a company, would you want to be on 2 nights a week, 1 night a week, 3, 4, 5?
Well, I'd like to know what network we're going to be on, what time we're going to be on. At least something how to answer that question intelligently. Uh, I think that 2 primetime broadcasts a week, like WWE is doing now, uh, same for AEW, Wednesdays and Saturdays. I've been really enjoying Collision here lately. Uh, that team that writes that are doing a real good job. And I know it's spearheaded by Tony Khan. There's no doubt who's the alpha male is in that company, which is a good thing. You got to run around like a dog chasing its tail to get an answer from a decision maker. You know who the decision maker is. That's how it was when I first went to WWE with Vince. He had his hand in everything: T-shirt designs, ticket prices, on sale dates, venues, everything, every single thing, and because that's what he wanted, and he liked to be deeply involved. But here's the thing about it: after all those years in wrestling, he was very skilled in those areas. So I think that's it's been a real good situation for them, but I think 2 nights a week should get it. I'm believing, and maybe you got some ancillary programs, the Rampages of the world and so forth. But I think having a Collision and a Dynamite and a SmackDown and a Raw, that's enough. If you can't tell your stories in those 4 hours that you allot to both those programs in total, uh, then you're not doing something right.
We should be talking a little bit more about Vince's investor call here, because he's basically saying that he's happy that the WWE is doing as well as they are in this tough economy. And he considered the most important barometer of how the company's doing to be live event attendance. And I thought that was fascinating, because these days, the thing everybody talks about more than anything else are television rights, television rights, television rights. And as a result, boy, we're all just sort of waiting with bated breath. What was the rating? How many households? How many viewers?
Yeah.
And we're still doing that like it's the Monday Night Wars. But Vince here 15 years ago is saying, no, the most important barometer for our product is live event attendance. I'm curious, where do you land on that? Is live event attendance in 2024 still the most important or valuable piece of information to just judge, hey, where are we at? How are we doing? Are we up? Are we down? That's the metric to look for. Do you agree with that?
I do agree with that wholeheartedly, because the people that come to a live event are making a tremendous investment, not only financially, but in their time.
Yes.
And so, I believe that wholeheartedly, that you get a real pulse of your business and where you are, what they like, who's getting over, who isn't, et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I wholeheartedly believe that's still the way. And then you're going to say, well, people are running less live events. Well, that's not an issue I can deal with. All I know is that if you can monitor the live event success or failure, then you're going to learn more about your product. And the key thing about learning more about your product is you're learning who the audience at that time perceives as being over. And getting over and being over are major, major elements to the success of any on-road production. I saw, hell, here in Jacksonville, we've had some big concerts here, but it packs that stadium. I mean, golly, business is good if you got what they want to see.
Oh,
That's exactly what's been in wrestling since I started. If you got what they want to see, then you're on to something.
Let's also mention during this investor call, he was asked about MMA. As a reminder, in 2009, the UFC's business was taking off. It was exploding, bigger than ever. Every single month, they were setting records. And Vince would say straight out, he has no interest in promoting MMA. Quote, it's a sport. It's not what we do. I mention that because we know now UFC and WWE are under the same TKO banner. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson here to tell you a little more about what AdFreeShows.com is all about. Get early, ad-free access to more than a dozen of your favorite wrestling podcasts every single week, starting at just $9. That's less than 20 cents an episode each month. And yes, you can listen to them all directly through Apple Podcasts or your regular podcast apps. How easy is that? Ad-Free Shows also has thousands of hours worth of bonus content and docuseries like Title Chase, Eric Fires Back, Conversations with Conrad, and The Insiders. Plus new series like The Book with David Crockett, Monday Mailbags with Mike Chioda and Nick Patrick, and a whole lot more. And you want to talk about early? You can't get any earlier than listening to the shows live. You can be a part of the live studio audience as we record the podcast. Plus, ride shotgun alongside your favorite childhood heroes for live watch-alongs, Q&As, and other interactive experiences every single month. Come on now, see for yourself what thousands of other wrestling fans from around the world have discovered, that AdFreeShows.com is the best value in wrestling. Check it out today, and hey, when you do, the first week is completely free. AdFreeShows.com.